This one is made for tradies, for construction workers, because that is what you guys are struggling with. You guys have reached out to me. You guys have told me that you are struggling to get rid of that last layer of body fat. Yes, I can lose fat. I can lose fat for the first few weeks in my program. I'll make up myself a diet. I'll make myself a meal plan. I'll go to the gym for a few weeks, right? And you get it right. You lose some weight. You lose some fat, but you can never get to where you want to be. You can never stick to it. You can never get rid of that last layer of body fat, guys. And the truth is, you don't need to sacrifice muscle to get to that last layer of fat. You're just not doing it right. So this is a full video on why you can't shift that last layer of body fat. Things that help me along the way, guys. Obviously, because I've gotten lean. I know what it's like. I've gotten clients lean. I know what it's like. I've gotten clients lean that are in the same position that you are in right now. And I want to help you guys out. I want to give you guys some free info. Firstly, guys, working harder than everyone in the gym and still can't shift it. You're probably up at 5 a.m. You're up at 6 a.m. You're on site by 6. 10 hours of lifting, carrying, sweating, and obviously that stubborn layer of body fat won't move. And that's not because you're moving a lot of work. Obviously, moving a lot of work is a good thing. You're outworking most guys in the gym during the day, but you're not putting in the inputs they are putting in to their meal prep, to their diet, to their mindset. You're not thinking like they are. You're not getting past that layer of body fat because you don't have the right system into place, right? It isn't a hard work problem, guys. It's a system problem. It's usually a stack of these guys, not just one. You might think it's just one, and honestly, when I read these out, you probably will think, okay, yeah, that is the issue. Inconsistency or laziness, right? If you're the type of person to stick to the gym for 2 weeks, or you go on your rest days when you're not working, you might work a shift roster, you go on your days off and you can't seem to get to the gym on all the other days, then inconsistency is probably one of your issues, but probably not the only one. Site work is unpredictable. Early starts, overtime, weather days, routine keeps breaking and never gets rebuilt after a bad week, and it's going to leave you in a downward spiral. You have one bad week at work, even if you're just stressed, you had a hard day, it puts you in a downward spiral and it's hard to get out of it, right? It's hard for you to stay into a schedule. It's hard for you to stick to it. Number two, no real tracking. Eating pretty clean, but you've never actually tracked your food. You're on diet. You're picking healthier choices, but you still go and you have these little snacks, and these little snacks are going to overall ruin your calorie intake for the day, and that is why you can't shred that last layer of fat, right? And that's why you manage to lose fat, but you can't get to the next level, because when you get to the next level, you need to be more precise. It's not just about eating a general healthy diet to get to the next level of body fat, right? You need to actually know what you're doing. And again, it's actually not hard. You just need to know what you're doing, making sure it's the right thing. Eating pretty clean, but never actually tracking, guys. Big portions. When you eat a meal, you might be hungry. You're going to go and have a massive serving size one day, and then other days you might break it up with little snacks. And you're still picking healthy options, but it's not consistent at all. You're overeating when you have a big portion size because you've been so hungry because you haven't eaten breakfast or you haven't eaten for the rest of the day, right? You may have skipped a meal, but then you're going to have a massive portion size later. There's no system around it. You're just doing what you want because you're hungry, because you thought this snack would be good, and it's like not really going to break the diet, just this one pie you're getting from the servo. The few beers you have after work, they should be all right because you've been locked in for 5 days right during the week. No, you're not tracking. You're not having a proper system. Yes, you can still sneak beers in and get to that layer of body fat. But if you don't have a system, how are you going to do that? The beers, the snacks, they add up fast without anyone noticing, guys. No one's going to notice apart from yourself. You need to build a schedule that works. Number three is the wrong food knowledge. Most advice online is actually built for office workers doing 8K steps, not someone burning through calories physically all day, guys. You need to obviously keep yourself full throughout the day. You need to keep your electrolytes full, your glycogen stores. This is going to be through hydration, through electrolytes. And if you're not doing this, you're going to be so fucking hungry. You're going to get, again, you might skip a meal, you might get to smoker, you might have a massive lunch because you're so hungry, because you haven't been full. You're burning more calories than most people. You can't just fucking skip a meal and then, yeah, I didn't even eat breakfast. I've been losing weight. And then you wonder why you can't get past that last layer of body fat. Yes, it worked at the start. You saw some results, but it's not working anymore. Why? Because you don't have a system, and skipping that one meal is making you fuck up for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week, or by the end of the week. Same list, second half, guys. You're not meal prepping. You have no time to prep. And that is the issue, right? You don't have time to prep, but do you really not have time? I want you to think about your free time. Think about the time you spend cooking, the time you spend looking for food, the time you spend going to that restaurant, going to get fast food, and you say you don't have time to meal prep once per week. Do you really not have time? Or is that again just laziness? Yes, sheds, servos, and site canteens are the path of least resistance, guys. It's easy to do that. It's easy to go there. It's going to waste more money. It's not going to keep you on track, but it's easy to do. That's why you do it. And you know that it's not the best choice. You're not doing it because you think you don't have time and you're limiting yourself to this. This may sound like you may know you have time and you're still just not doing it because you don't know where to start. It could be a knowledge issue, not an execution issue, guys. Generic meal prep advice doesn't fit a 5 a.m. start and SK in the U. The reason for this is because, again, most people might be able to prep a breakfast in the morning. You can't. You need something that suits your schedule. Number 2, training without a plan. The job feels like training, but physical labor isn't a structured plan, guys, for fat loss or lean muscle. You need to take it into account, but you don't treat it like a training plan. The body adapts and stalls. Number 3, guys, no accountability, no one checking in. Progress becomes vibes based. Oh yeah, I think I've been doing pretty good in the gym. I think I've been losing that body fat percentage. I think my diet's been pretty good. I can go off track a little bit here. No, you can't. You're not holding yourself accountable at all. You're going easy on yourself. And you might not even notice it because day by day, week by week, you're doing good. You've been getting into the gym for that first week. You were so consistent. And week by week, you let the little things slip and these add up. Because the one time you mess something up, it's a mistake. The next time it's a habit, right? Say, for example, you go slightly off track, you are meal prepping, but then you decide to swap out your breakfast and then you start getting smoko pies in the morning. You do it one day of the week and then you end up doing that every day of the week. But that one day of the week, that Friday when you're getting a pie every morning, you end up doing that for 3 weeks first before you're doing it every day. So then little habits are adding up, right? It's a mistake at first because you forgot to bring breakfast. Then you're like, oh, I can fit this in and I can still make progress. But you're not seeing yourself slow down because the results come after the inputs. You're putting in these inputs, you're seeing the results later. So you think when you've inputted one good week, you're going to keep seeing these results when you change the inputs later. No, you're not. Feeling okay until the mirror or photo says otherwise. This is exactly what I just said. You're changing up your inputs and you're going off results from before, guys. And then you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I've fallen off track. What did I do? I fell off track. It was working. And you don't notice these little changes that you've made, right? You might notice that you've let yourself slip. You've let yourself go over the past few weeks. You've let your habits build up again. And you just don't know how to stick to them, guys. And the reason is because you don't have accountability, most likely. The first layer comes off with effort. The last layer comes off with a system. The last bit of fat needs precision, guys, in the first 5 to 10 kilos. Yes, the first 5 to 10 kilograms of fat, you might have lost it. You might have lost 2. You might have lost 1. I don't know how long you stayed consistent for because I know you wanted to change. And you might have just gone in with the mindset of just eat less. You might have been tired at work because of it. You might have been skipping meals. And again, it's going to work for the first 10 to 15 kilos, but it's going to left you feeling like shit. And if you're feeling like shit because you're skipping meals because you're not following a proper plan, you're not going to be able to get past that last 10, 15 kilograms of body fat because you don't have the energy. You don't have the energy to put the right outputs into training, right? You don't have the right energy to actually be able to preserve that muscle mass even, to have a good mindset at work, to have a good mindset when it comes to training, to again, hold yourself accountable, to stick to a system, to stay consistent. You got this far, guys, but it isn't precise enough, guys, for the final stretch. You need to know what you're doing to get past that last layer of body fat. This is exactly where most tradies plateau and give up because it gets too hard, but they just don't know what they're doing. It's not actually hard. You just haven't changed your system and adjusted it along the way. One system that you're working, one meal prep, one set calorie count is not going to work for the whole process. You're going to need to make adjustments based on the variables you receive from yourself. This method, the clean, lean partitioning method, this method works for tradies. Why? Because this is what I use. I'm a tradie. I'm in good shape. My clients, they're tradies. They're in good shape. They use this method. This method is going to fix your nutrient partitioning. You're going to eat in a way that shreds fat while preserving lean muscle, right? Not the typical eat less and crash that leaves you skinny fat. The reason you're being less skinny fat is because, again, you're not getting the right nutrients in when you're on a low calorie intake. Yes, you can still lose weight if you're eating servo pies, if you just don't eat too many of them, right? But it's going to make it harder because they're more high calorie, they're more dense. So every time you go and eat that pie, instead of fitting in, a massive amount of nutrient dense food, you can only fit yourself this small pie for the same amount of calories that is not nutrient dense. It's not going to help you build muscle. It's not going to help you preserve muscle. And it's obviously not going to help boost your metabolism, which is going to help you burn fat. If you eat this nutrient dense meal, you stick to it and you actually do a little bit of research behind it. You know, okay, this is fitting my macros, this is getting my micronutrients in. You're going to actually feel good throughout the day. You're going to train harder. You're going to preserve that lean muscle. You're going to not have a crash. You're going to be able to get to the gym by the end of the day. That's no longer going to be an excuse. You're going to be able to stick to your schedule because you feel good. Built for tradies, guys. Built around irregular hours. If you do varying hours, bro, you have to. I'm talking to you. You have to change your schedule around it, right? And that's exactly what this method allows for. It allows you to adjust training times and adjust your carb timing. Carb cycling is what's going to help you here, right? Carb timing, carb cycling, it's the same thing. That's what's allow you to have energies on bigger work days, on bigger training days. You're going to have a high physical output and you're going to have a low prep time, right? It's going to be simple meals for tradies that you can prep quickly, so then you don't have to spend all your time cooking. We want to save time. We want to eliminate time. We don't want time to be the issue. This is not repurposed office worker advice, guys. This is what will actually work for you if you're in the trades, if you're in construction. Every struggle from before, guys. So we have inconsistency, no real tracking, wrong food knowledge, no time to prep, no plan for training, no accountability. Firstly, inconsistency, guys, everything here stems from something else. There's always an underlying issue. Why are you inconsistent? I want you to ask you that. If inconsistency is your issue, if you're watching this right now, why are you inconsistent? What this method is going to do is going to allow you to have a built-in routine, flexibility for broken weeks, right? If, again, you're inconsistent because you can't stick to it, it might be because you have a varying work schedule. It might be because you get stressed, you have a hard day, and you fall off track for these reasons. It could be you're inconsistent because you don't have time to get everything sorted, to prep, to sort out a training plan, stuff like that. Again, a built-in routine is going to help this. A built-in routine with flexibility is going to help this. No real tracking. You're not tracking your food properly. Simplified tracking that removes guesswork. That is what's going to help you. But again, why? Why can't you track properly? Is it because you don't have the knowledge? Is it because you're lazy? Is it because you're tracking, but then you're not holding yourself accountable and you're not tracking that little extra snack that you added in there? But again, simplified tracking removes the guesswork. You're going to get it right. Wrong food knowledge, guys. And this can come from a lot of areas, right? You might hear someone say one thing about food, someone say something else about food, and it's completely different. Why? Because each area of advice, one might be wrong, one might just be catered towards someone else's goal, not your goal. Again, you're not getting the right knowledge. You're getting different inputs. You're getting word from one coach, word from another. You don't know what actually works for you. You're getting what works for someone trying to shred fat, someone trying to build muscle, someone who's skinny, someone who works this job, someone who works this job, someone who's a desk worker. You don't actually know what works for you. Again, it might not be the wrong food knowledge, but I want you to ask yourself, why do you have the wrong food knowledge? Are you getting your information from the right sources? Are you getting information from someone who has the same goal as you? Nutrition built for physical output, not desk jobs. That is what this method is going to have. You're going to have nutrition that will help you get through work and your training. That's going to help you not feeling tired, so you can be consistent. So you can track your food properly, so you can see real results. Next up, guys, you don't have time to prep. No meal prep time. Ask yourself again, why don't I have time to prep? Do I actually not have time to prep? If you don't have time to prep, you need to change something in your schedule so you can find time. You need to sacrifice something else and think about how important is it that I actually shred this fat? Is it important so I look good for my kids? Is it important that I'm not the guy who's insecure when he takes his shirt off when he goes out into a public setting, into the beach, into the water park, whatever it is? Do I want to be the tradie who can't even be in shape for his family, who can put in the hard work at work, but he lets himself down internally? Because internally, it reflects on your physique, right? You want to be in shape. Why? Because it shows that you're disciplined. It shows that you are a hard worker. And you're working hard at work. Why can't you do it for yourself? Why can't you do it for your body? Why can't you do it for your family, to be the person who can actually stand up for their family, right? You don't want to be a fat slob. You don't want to be the guy who looks like he can't protect his family, right? Again, ask yourself, is it worth making this sacrifice to find time to prep my meals so I can look good, so I can be the version of myself that I want to become? In this plan, guys, a 5 a.m. start, it will fit. And a ute, not a home kitchen. You'll have prep meals that you can eat without a microwave. You don't even need a microwave because, again, not everyone has one on the construction site. Next, guys, the struggle is you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan for training. You're going into the gym and you're kind of half-assing it. Again, it might not fit your schedule. You might have some sort of rostered work schedule. You only go on your rest days. You might do 5 days on, 4 off. You might only go on your off days because you're too tired and you're just winging it when you get there. Because the reason you're winging it is because you set yourself a schedule. You say you're going to go during your on days at work. You never go because you're too tired from work. And then you leave yourself in a position where you get to your off days and you know you need to go to the gym and you actually have the energy, but you don't follow a proper system because you've already messed up telling yourself you're going to go here. Same goes if you work a normal schedule. You might go 2-3 times per week, not as many as you thought you should be going because you only made it one time during the work week. The reason for this, again, is because you weren't consistent. You didn't have a proper, didn't have energy. You didn't have a structure. You were too lazy and you didn't know where to start. You didn't have knowledge. That could be the issue. It's either an execution issue or it's a knowledge issue. If it's an execution issue, there is so many underlying issues. I want you to ask you why you can't actually get there. And then you might say, I'm inconsistent. I don't have time. Why don't you have time? Why aren't you inconsistent? Is it because you don't have a plan for training? It might be. That's this one right here. If you don't have a plan for training, guys, this structure and training and petitioning together will suit your lifestyle. It'll be something that you can stick to, something that's realistic. You're not going to be wasting 3-4 hours in the gym. You're going to be in the gym for 45 minutes for 1 hour. And you're going to put in the work, put in the right input so you can go home, you can feel yourself, you can petition your body to get to that point where you want to get to. Next is no accountability. Again, ask yourself, why don't I have accountability for myself? This plan involves check-ins. Built into the method, guys. It's not optional. You need to check in and you need to hold yourself accountable. And even if you don't use this method that I'm talking about, the clean, lean petitioning method to get to where you want to be, check in with yourself. Ask yourself, have I done this correctly at the end of the week? Hold yourself accountable. Actually reflect on it. After you've reflected, set a new plan for the next week that's going to fix these bad habits. This is the exact method, the clean, lean petitioning method. This is the method that I use to change my physique in 90 days. It's the same method that I now run with my clients. I have a full step-by-step video on this to break down, this method. A full video breaking down the method. If you want to watch my 90-day transformation, that has a full breakdown on this method, how it works, what it actually is. I'm linking that to this video, so go give that one a watch. It's very important if you are actually interested to get your physique to your next level. Because I can tell you right now, if you stick to this method, it will work. You will get the results you want to get. If you don't, you can still get something out of this. You can still break those bad habits. You can still figure out what is causing you not to get past that last layer of body fat. Not sure the work you're putting in is actually working, guys. If you're already grinding, you may already be training. You may already have a plan. That might not be your issue. You may have been consistent in the gym, as we covered before. You may be holding yourself accountable. You may be reflecting week by week. You may be tracking properly, right? You may not be snacking at the server and all that. And you may actually have time. You may be prepping for yourself. You're trying to eat better, you're training, but you're not sure it's getting anywhere. That's exactly what a strategy call is for, guys. We'll map it out. Map out exactly where you're at right now. So we'll figure out what you're doing right now, what it's actually doing for you. We'll find the block, identify what's actually stalling your progress, because there will be something. You may just need someone with more knowledge, who knows more, who's been in the game longer, who's managed other people, to figure out what's actually stalling your progress. And I'll build a plan for you around your job, around your schedule, something that actually suits you, something that is going to make sure the hard work you're putting in is getting you results. It's a free strategy call, no cost, just clarity on your next step. The link is in the bio, guys. You can also DM me the word strategy on Instagram. The link is in the description, bio, same thing. You don't need more hours in the gym, guys. or a soft office job to get lean. Let's be honest, you don't want to work an office job. You need a system built for the one you've already got. That is the clean lean partitioning method. Again, if you want to watch that video, I'm going to link it right here once again. The clean lean partitioning method. I know that it will work because it's worked for every client that it's worked for. If you want to use this method in your own way, use it in your own way. Go watch the video, check it out, see what you need to actually implement. Again, if you think you're already putting in inputs, you think you're already training hard, book in a strategy call. We'll figure out exactly what works for you. DM me the word strategy on Instagram. You can also DM me the word method on Instagram. I'll send you over that video. Whatever your scenario is, whatever you need, I'll sort you out. But again, the strategy call is linked to this. The clean lean partitioning video is also linked to this, guys. If you have any questions at all, reach out to me on Instagram. I'm happy to help anyone out in your situation. If you're a trader, you're a construction worker, you may just be a busy worker in general and you're struggling to lose that body fat, reach out to me.